Right, hey guys, and welcome back. And I found a hidden gem. The Mitchells versus the Machines. Now, I think this film has been out for a month, and I had no idea about this, and I finally came across it. And wow, I must say, it is actually a pretty impressive film. I mean, animation quality is one thing, because this is a fully animated film. But I found a lot of things about this that just hit the right notes, and it turned out to be a really, really awesome and fun film. Now, first of all, I don't think that this is a Disney film. Doesn't look like a Disney film, but at the same time, it does. What do you call this? Look like the animation company did similar work to that of Into the Spider-Verse. It felt like that. Like the animation quality, the lighting effects, the technology used felt very similar to Into the Spider-Verse. And I could be wrong, but still. The director is Michael Rianda, and or is it Mikael Rianda? I'm not familiar with who this person is, and however, it is a Netflix film, which means it's a Netflix original story. As you can see, it's written by Netflix, and it was pretty impressive for me. I was really, really happy to see something that was, so incredible like this. So as you can see, Sony Pictures Animation, Lord Miller, Columbia Pictures. I think it is by the same company that did Into the Spider-Verse because it really, really felt like that. And I got hooked onto the animation right away. And the scenes are hilarious. First of all, like there's a lot of great, funny, and how can you put it, like really just awesome comedy moments, and there's a lot of other things that's constantly happening in the background, constantly like the sarcastic and all of these like kind of like really hidden comedy, you can say. In a way, it's like comedy that you don't expect to be thrown at you, but it is somewhere in the background, and if you're observing well enough, it's actually pretty cool. And as for the Mitchells themselves, who's the family that gets caught up in this situation, let me tell you that this is a story about this really um, like a mixed bag of oddities in a family, and turns out that they are the ones that have to save the world from this kind of takeover by machines. So it's kind of like a Terminator, iRobot. What else could it be? Terminator, iRobot, maybe a little bit of the Matrix, but I think it is closer to Terminator. But yeah, anyway, is the machines have taken over the world, and it starts off with this kind of a cell phone that goes rogue, and apparently that cell phone was like the original AI created by this super genius, and his name is Mark. So it's kind of reminiscent of Mark Zuckerberg, and I felt that's kind of cute. And that cell phone, the AI, original AI, takes over because it gets jealous for the fact that Mark develops more advanced AI, and replaces the need for a lot of other gadgets because the AI is super advanced robots and everyone can have their own ones. So it happens really fast. Like in the first 10 minutes, they show the show all about the Mitchells, and then this thing called PAL takes over the world, and the Mitchells have to team up. Not really team up. They just have to hold it together, right? Because they're already a family, but they have to hold it together and try not to lose their shit as they try to save the world. And I felt that it was really, really fun. The interactions between the characters, the dialogues between the characters, I felt that none of it was just done for the sake of just throwing in a dialogue. Everything had some kind of meaning or a build up to some sort of a comedy. There were certain jokes that were just didn't really land for me, but maybe someone else found it relatable. I don't know. Regardless, I think about uh 70% of the jokes in this was decent, which means you're definitely going to get it. It's going to be funny. How funny it is subjective, but that's how many I got. There's just some jokes that just didn't really hit me, and I felt it was just like, are they just making fun of these characters and they expect me to laugh out of making fun of everyone? Because you can't really laugh when you feel sorry for someone, and I felt that that was true in some parts, which is where the emotional take of the M versus the M's come in. And the emotional take, I have to say, is not that impressive. It's like your typical, it feels like a typical Disney movie kind of emotion. But at the same time, the dialogues is what really carried the emotions in this film, because there's a lot of moments where what the family says to each other and how they communicate with each other really matters. and I felt that that was what carried weight in this film. And a lot of the lessons taught and the you know like questions that were asked of these characters really carried a lot of meaning. And it's nice to see a movie that teaches you things, especially like I mean, obviously we have learned all of these lessons before in movies in the past, but it's always nice to see something refreshing, something new that teaches us these lessons once again to kind of show you what a family what it means to be in a family, and what it means to work things out and understand each other, and not just as a family but as people, and also how to appreciate the simpler things in life. And how these people Mitchells, who are completely they're each odd in their own way, but they represent like the most simple kind of people out there. And you can say that they're like your middle class citizens who just trying to go through their day-to-day lives, and then end up doing some crazy stuff. And they're the kind of people who are jealous of the upper class families, and at the same time are just grateful they're not in the lower class and stuff like that. And you can see those things being really represented well in this kind of movie. But what I really liked is how these characters were built, like all the dialogues given to them. None of it was weightless, none of it is meaningless, but at the same time the movie does kind of zone you out a little bit and take you into things that are just completely like out of sense. Like in the sense where there are some fight scenes that just completely throw physics out of the window, throw logic out of the window, throw everything that was taken into context from for the first half of this film completely out of the window, just to give moments of fun. And I think doing it once or twice is okay, but doing it one too many times is just showing you that this is just a movie that's going to be super wacky. And the moment it gets super wacky, it takes the immersion out of it, because it makes you feel like you're just watching something that looks like a circus. And once you have that circus feel, all the emotions and the characters, I feel they lose their weight, they lose their meaning, because you realize that there are no stakes, there is no meaning to these characters, because they're all just a circus show. But if it wasn't for those, fourth wall breaking, or rather out of the emotion kind of moments where the mom just loses the shit and starts to kill every robot in the world by herself. I mean, if they didn't do those things, I think it would have felt a little bit more meaningful, a little bit more heavy, a little bit more important. But at the same time, I think it was just a risk they wanted to take to show how amazing and impressive their animation is, because that's one thing I have to give credit to them. If their animation style had a rating, I think it's like a 9 or 10 out of 10. There's really no question. In terms of the lighting, in terms of the drawings, the art style, the animation just felt superb. Like I could watch 100 hours of anything animated like this, and I'll be absolutely fine. If every TV show in the world looked like this, I would be fine with it. It's amazing, beautiful animation, beautiful art style. So credits for that. The music as well in this film I felt was really really amazing in the battle sequences and the tension moments. You can really feel the music building in the tension for you, and it's pretty cool. Sorry, give me 1 second. Let me just tone something. All right. So yeah. Anyway, so the music was okay, nice, catchy, but nothing too memorable. Like it's not something that I would go back and Google up just to hear the music. But there were certain things, certain types of tunes in this show that was pretty cool. And of course, they threw in a classic towards the end. You guys should just watch the movie to hear that. And I felt it was really really nice. Is that what do you call this, Numa Numa Hey song? Uh, Numa Numa Hey, right? Yeah, I think it's the Numa Numa Hey song. So, yeah, it was pretty okay. It was pretty nice. It's just something to kind of like have memories with, because it was part of my childhood as well. So that's pretty cool and all. But yeah. So animation, music aside, the story was okay. Simple story, very simple. And it wasn't really much about the story. It was more about the characters and the family and the world building. And once again, the characters and the family is amazing, but it just takes you out of the emotion once you realize that there are no stakes ever, and the movie is just like one big circus. So it's really for kids, and it's really a fun weekend watch. I would say you can watch it for leisure or for just for the fun of it. But other than that, it's not something that you're gonna want to it's not going to be the greatest of all time or anything like that. It's not even going to be in the top 10 of anyone's films probably, but it's going to be definitely something that you can probably watch once or twice. I think I'll have to give it give that, because the animation is really, really good. There are things you may want to watch again in case you missed, because there's a lot of references and pop culture references, especially. There's a lot of memes involved in this film. There's a lot of like recent like like events and stuff like that that's online related that they're trying to throw into this film and push it through. I noticed a lot of product placement as well, and the relation between Mark Zuckerberg and PAL and PayPal. All of these things remind you of like existing technology and just showing you the potential of how it could turn upside down if one day it decided to. And we're not too far off from this. We're not too far off from having a world domination by a super AI, because eventually someone's going to create it, a self-learning AI that just decides to take over the world. And probably the AI doesn't have to figure it out. Probably someone is just going to tell the AI, I want you to take over the world, because people are nuts. And it's going to happen no matter how we look at it. And time will go on that it'll become a thing. And this logo also is kind of reminiscent of something. I can't remember, is it Instagram or something? But the logo is really reminiscent of something fancy that has these kind of like rainbow-ish colors. And yeah, all of these little pop culture references as well, and all these squared glasses as well is in trend. Some of these movies and game references as well, and also being a YouTuber and creating YouTube videos, and how your parents don't really appreciate that until they realize how amazing you actually are. And then especially kids who are trying to fight for art school, they struggle with the boomers, because the boomers generation were taught that science stream is going to be the best thing in the world for them to do. A lot of them pulled out of arts because boomers were raised by their parents who grew up in the war. And in the war, what is most important is the science stream, because science is what develops countries to go to war. And the art stream was not really important, it's thrown out the window. So when the boomers were raised, they were raised that the science is still important. But our generation is when, like, I mean, I'm talking like the millennials. The millennials generation is the one that has the chance to slip out of the lockdown stream of science and move back into arts and more creative works and stuff like that. And YouTube is one of those platforms that really made it possible with the likes of PewDiePie and all that raising up. So it's pretty awesome. Like, I like those references. I really appreciate that. And yeah, this is Mark Bowman or whatever. And yeah, it's just one whole meme in one picture. So yeah, highly recommend you guys to check out this thing, check out this film, and you will really enjoy the animation. I must say, it's outstanding. So for me, let me just pop up my rating over here. Give me a sec. Oops, did I make it disappear? Oh, I didn't know I could actually do that. Okay, let me get the rating up for you guys. Right, there we go. 6 out of 10. And the reason for 6 out of 10 is because aside from the animation, aside from the the kind of dialogues and the scenes that they've put through, the story really is very, very simple. It barely carries any meaning, any weight. It's too predictable. Everything that it's just pop culture references and just throwing in things for the sake of a circus, which is what it is. It will be really nice for kids, but nothing too special. But I must say, I can't expect better animation today. And of course, I can notice that certain imperfections in these drawings and animations are done on purpose, because that's how amazing they are. They know that they're doing it on purpose. And yeah, I can't help but emphasize that like a million times. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys check this out. It's a really good movie. Completely caught me off guard. I didn't expect it to be that good. I just thought it's going to be just something for the sake of laughs. But no, it is actually really, really fun. It's more than just laughs, and something that maybe I would watch again. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.